The pet peeve for the shareholder today seems to be the royalty which Unilever has increased from Hindustan Unilever. Now let's get it very clear. It's like dowry. People don't complain against the concept of dowry. They only complain against the quantum of dowry, right? So Unilever was anyway charging a royalty. Now they've increased the royalty. Last time when they charged the royalty, the social media was perhaps not so active. So when now there is an increase, there is a screaming about why should there be a royalty. And all these companies like Hindustan Unilever, Tata, Godrej, all of them are top on ESG. So don't even crib that it is wrong, because all of them are doing it. So I'm not getting into whether Unilever should do it, but the question is, yes, Unilever is doing it. Yes, Suzuki is doing it. Yes, the Indian groups like Tatas are doing it. Godrej is doing it. So it's not to say that it is unique to MNCs, but yes, MNCs are definitely doing it and doing it in a big way. Don't look at it as, they take it as a percentage of sales, but if you take it as a percentage of profits, it's not an insignificant portion, it's a reasonably big one. But think about it this way, the UK has been a country of looters. They came, they looted and they went. So same thing, MNCs come here, they take our markets, they use the shareholder money to create those markets, then they make losses, they make profits, then the brand still belongs to little brand belongs to whom? Unilever or Hindustan Unilever? Well, I don't know, but the big money spent has been done by Hindustan Unilever. So should we be paying royalty for using their brands? Look, you have no choice, right? As a shareholder, you can sell the share. As a consumer, you can say, I don't like this company's ethics, so I will not use their products. Those are the only two options available to you. If you are a shareholder, you have to bear it. If you think that we need an MNC to make soap and shampoo for us 75 years after independence, you will consume their product. I am not even getting into right, wrong, right? So where do you draw the line between what is right and what is wrong? I'll tell you where I don't like royalty. Royalty is a number which is created by the parent. So the parent comes and says, I want 2% royalty. People here say, no, 2 is too high, you take it 1.75. Well, even that doesn't happen because the board is very, very compliant. Do you think the HUL board in this case or the Suzuki board will ever stand up to Unilever? Well, they won't. So very clearly, so we want 3% royalty. Yes, sir, you will have 3% royalty. Can we have my copy? I really don't know. I don't have the minutes of the meeting where but the board passed it, and I'm sure if it has to be passed in the AGM, again it will get passed. What can the government do about it? First of all, what is royalty? Royalty is a payment which is legally binding. That's what Investopedia says. Legally binding on the company to pay. So HUL does not have a choice. If Unilever says you have to pay me so much of royalty, you will have to pay so much of royalty. That's all. It is as simple as that. It is just a fee which is used. I mean, if I had the technology, if somebody wants to call themselves Subramani Mutual Fund, I can charge them a royalty for using my name. But my name is not patented, so they can use it anyway. So anyway, this is jokes apart. So if there is a technology or something, or I'm owning a brand, I can sell the brand to you, or I can say you will pay me a royalty of 1%, 2%, 3% of sales, whatever it is, right? So that can be done. I can take a brand on rent, or I can buy it off, right? So one of the two. So all of them charge, whether it is Siemens, Cummins, I'm sure some way Colgate, and all of them charge. And like I said, Tatas charge, Godrej charges, everybody charges. I do not know about other bigger groups, but these two groups definitely come to mind because I remember these resolutions. What are your choices as a shareholder? Really not much. Everybody charges because they think they can get away. What do I have against royalty? Nothing much really, but it is a number which can never be negotiated. There is no justification saying I want to charge 5% royalty or to charge 4% royalty. So first of all, it is rarely a negotiated amount. It is just a number with the Lord and Master comes and says I want 2%, I want 3%. So when the Tata Group lost money in the Tata Telecom, all those who bore the losses? Tata Sons, right? You were not asked to bear the losses. So do they have a right therefore to take a royalty from companies which are doing well? I'm not getting into the justification. You don't like it as a shareholder, walk out as a shareholder. That's all. You don't like a product as a consumer, walk out. If you think the price is not fair, walk out. So since we can't do anything about it, the only thing you can do is, considering this extra payment which HUL is going to make to Unilever, is the share worth buying? Again, we have this obsession with MNCs, so we give them very high PEs. So the PE which they get in UK is much less than the PE that they get in India. We just don't sell off our MNC shares, and HUL has another great advantage of being in the index. Because it is in the index, every year, whenever, every month, whatever, any big large cap fund or an index fund buys. The problem with royalty, like I said, it is not a number which can be quantified, or you say, okay, why 5%, why 4%, why 1%, why at all? This question never comes up because because Unilever is allowed to vote on that. Now suppose at the board meeting, the Unilever representative is asked to sit out, and then they discuss, and then they say no, it's only 1%, or it's 0%, or it is not allowed at all, or they are told that you will not be allowed to charge any royalty, or you will be allowed to charge royalty only on products ABC, not on all the products. So it cannot be a percentage of sales, it can be a percentage of sales of that product. But none of these discussions happen. Even in the AGM, does it stop Unilever from voting on that? I hope it should, because if a party is interested in it, they should not be allowed to vote there. So if Unilever cannot vote on this in the AGM, will it go through? I don't know. Then all of us have to really actually go there and vote. Even if you have 200 votes or you have 20,000 votes, just go and vote. We won't do any of those stuff. We'll just keep cribbing their royalties too high. We will continue to buy their 50 paise product for 50 rupees and say, oh, this soap sounds so good. This is the same company which makes Fair and Lovely. They keep changing the name, but yes, it's the Fair and Lovely which all Indian women feel that if they put the whole tube in their face, they'll get fair. And women, why men also, because they got what, fair and handsome or something like that. I do not know what happened to the product. I have not tracked it. But we are the same people who buy it, and then when Dove makes an ad which shows a girl being discriminated and say we should not discriminate and all that, our same women who buy Fair and Lovely say, oh, such a beautiful ad by Dove, I must buy the Dove soap. So I think it's a great marketing company. It has got some fantastic brands. It has created all that. It's a company which people will die for to join, whether they are from IIT or IIM. It does the first J recruitment. It pays well. It's a company which I would recommend to my son, daughter, nephew, niece, friend, son, anybody, because it's a fantastic place to learn. Nothing to take away all that. So are you happy with the royalty? You're not happy, you're a shareholder, right? Walk out, sell it at a PE of 80, 90, 120, whatever we are willing to pay for it. Maybe, but after 6 months, 8 months, if the price has gone up, then you'll say, oh God, this price has gone up. Then you should not be worried, right? Like, I don't have shares of ITC because principally I don't want to be a shareholder of a company which spreads cancer. That's my view. If the price goes up or the yield is good or it is doing very well, bad luck. I don't have it, right? I've decided not to have. So I don't have ITC. I used to have ITC. I used to have any royalty about 2% goes to the shareholder for consent. But I hope in that Unilever will not be allowed to vote, then it might make some difference. Otherwise, I think, they can just, with 65%, 70% shareholding, they'll just push and get their way. One more thing which is not good about royalty is it is always a percentage of the sales. So whether the company makes profit or loss, it doesn't matter, they will get their royalty. But let's understand where all this started. All this started after 1977, 76, 77, when George Fernandez asked all these people to go out of the country. So with Colgate, Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola, IBM, Hindustan Unilever or Hindustan Lever as it was called, all those companies were said, either you dilute at least 40% stake in India, or I think it was 40% stake in India, or you have to go away. So Coke and IBM decided that they will walk away. They will not want to be in a country where they can't hold 100%. Johnson and Johnson stayed back. I don't know how, what they had to do to stay back. Hindustan Unilever, Cummins, Siemens, Pfizer, Nestle, Procter and Gamble, all of them. Procter and Gamble was that time called Richardson Hindustan. I don't know how many of you remember that, or how many of you know that. There was another company called Warner Hindustan, which I think got absorbed by Pfizer. So all these companies decided that they will dilute. Only because they are diluted and they have an Indian shareholder is all this coming up. Mostly these companies are still held 51%, 65% or something held by the foreign parent. So they didn't want to share anything with you. Cadbury decided to take the company private. So if you tell HUL that you cannot charge any royalty because you're a shareholder, they really couldn't care. They would happily do a buyback and take the company private, because today the choice is available. So Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Pepsi, and all the auto manufacturers, every auto manufacturer, remember, is private. Whether it is, then there is LG, there is Samsung, who all want part of the Indian market. They want to sell to India, they want to pay taxes in India. Some of the Chinese companies don't want to pay taxes also. So all those people, all of them are there, all MNCs are there. We are cribbing about these because we have some shareholding in that. Don't like it, sell off. Don't like their products, don't buy. If you think that an Indian company can make toothpaste and shampoo and soap, be my guest, buy that. If all of us decide not to buy the Colgate toothpaste and the Liril and Lux and what have you, some shampoo, the Head and Shoulders of P&G or Clinic shampoo, if you decide not to buy any of those products,